Welcome to the Christopher Pavorty blog. Today we're going to be doing another shop update. We've been working a lot of stuff right now. We got a ton of projects that I'll go show you. Pre-runner, trophy truck, other stuff. So currently sitting in my office grinding away, and I need a break from sitting here because I got papers everywhere. I've been reading too much. I'm just losing it. So let's go harass the guys down in the shop and see what they think. I think this is like the least favorite part of the day for everyone when I come and film my vlogs. All right, Steve, what are you working on today? We're back with the creeper cam.
We are putting in the ECU back in, motor's back, just getting ready.
So we're kind of putting, we added the whole wiring harness and the whole engine. It was in Detroit, getting freshened up by Ford. We had to send them all the wiring harness and stuff so they could run it on their dyno. So it literally just got back, what, last night, right? So Steve's in here reassembling all the wiring. Super pretty looking, huh? So much space. But let's talk about some of the things since our last video Steve's worked on. We got our backup camera. How was that to install?
Truth?
Yeah. You can curse.
I'm trying to figure out a way to convey my message without curse words. It was a pain in the butt.
I thoroughly did not enjoy installing it.
Yeah. That's the proper.
So what's pretty cool, this thing just looks like a big backup, I mean like a mirror. And it kind of works, I guess it is kind of, it's got a reflective enough, it's a mirror right now when you're in it. But it's got a little camera on the front, which we probably won't use. But most importantly, it's got this camera on the back right here, which I'm very excited about. Until now, I've never had like a backup camera or a rear view mirror. And you go, oh, why do you need a rear view mirror? Well, people catch us pre-running because there's dudes running in trophy trucks and other stuff going faster than I can go in mine. Or sometimes I'm just going slow. Some people just say I'm slow. Just read the internet. Someone on this vlog will probably say I'm slow in the comments. But, and then second, also while we're pre-running, these mirrors, which are very snazzy, sexy, big, they get folded in because if not, we're going along, branch, hit, and it goes wha-bam, and usually will shatter mirrors, which if you haven't watched it, huh?
How many mirrors have you been through?
A lot, and that's probably why it's when you break a mirror, it's like 7 years of bad luck.
Something like that.
Right now, it's just look at my BAJA track record right now. We haven't made it more than 12 miles, so I need to stop breaking mirrors. So we fold them in like this, which is nice, but then you don't see behind. So literally when we're driving, we have zero way to look back. And you can't really, when you're in a big harness, and these are like, I got this limo tinted and you can't really see much. So I'm very excited about this. Literally ordered this mirror off of Amazon. I've been trying to find a solution. I was gonna do it into our Motec system, but money, time, and our system, like I don't have a screen super visible. So what's nice about this is a lot of times like me and Mike are so locked in, but we have someone in the back seat, either a filmer or medic or someone. This is literally directly in their line of sight. So they're gonna see real fast if someone comes up on us. But yeah, it's kind of snazzy. So that's one thing. All right, what else have you been working on, Steve? I guess I shouldn't.
Well, I got the fuel pumps all back in last night.
Yep, he took out the whole fuel cell, kind of cleaned that up.
Wiring it complete. I got your third member in last night.
That stuff,
We are waiting.
I don't think this was in the last video. We talked about it in our last video, but my last jack was pretty blown out, bent, battered, and it didn't have the extension, so we were always, it would work, but sometimes when we were in the stand and stuff, it was kind of hard. So got ourselves handy dandy Harbor Freight Badlands locked in. And it works. The other one's kind of was falling apart. Yeah, that before was like a 30-minute process because it was all bent. One thing we just remembered we had, which he hasn't started on yet, but we're trying to get this thing to seal better. So we were talking about that. Right now we have seals here. The problem is this piano hinge has no seal. So we're gonna do like a little piece of angle iron and then some foam on that angle iron so it seals here. Because right now, as you can see, like this is after we actually cleaned some stuff, but this thing just gets filled with dirt, and it's got important things in here. All right, next on the list, we got our switch pros. So we're adding a switch pros to run a few different things because I keep adding things to this pre-runner. What? You got a problem to say?
No.
Yeah, I keep adding things. Are they necessary? I don't know. Debatable. Laptop charger for a USB-C in the back seat.
When you try to go as fast as you try to go, you gotta be comfortable.
Yeah, I gotta be comfortable. So, a bunch of different things. But yeah, I did just add it hasn't shown up yet, which it might have actually by now. It was supposed to get delivered, I thought, today.
More shit to put in?
Well, no, just the 100-watt USB-C charger we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
See, he knows about it. He's just complaining. But I wanted USB-C. I wanted some chargers in the back, and I was like, if we're gonna put chargers in the back, we should put one that will charge my laptop. Because we carry a laptop on board, like, so we can, if we have issues, we can link in now with Starlink. So like, a lot of times, like if I can't figure something out, we can plug into the Motec. Croyer or Ford or whoever can log in and, you know, be working on a computer remotely. So, but I don't carry a charger. This thing doesn't have an inverter, so we need 100-watt USB-C. It's actually 140 watts. So I was gonna see there's probably some cool stuff we can charge off it, but also for film guys, they can do their cameras, all that shiz. So that's getting wired into this switch pros, in addition to a couple other random things, that the HEPA filter that we put in, that when we started it would shift, so we're isolating that now, which is kind of exciting. And then what I'm really excited, and I think everyone who's ever sat in the back seat of this thing will be really excited for, is all right, this is what we're all very excited for. We got ourselves an AC. It's like a vintage air. It's supposed to be mounted, it's designed to be mounted like dash of old truck that doesn't have it right under it. So it's kind of a complete unit, whole 9 yards. We're gonna mount it in the back seat, just facing up. We removed kind of a lot of, like, there's no adjustment on it or anything from here now. Basically, we're gonna, on that. Yeah, it'll run from the switch pros, so I can just kind of turn on high, low, or on straight from the front seat, and it'll just be bolted back there. We're not going to run any tubes or anything right now. We're going to see how it looks, but it's got these 4 things, so like the guy in the back seat can kind of face some towards him or away. Yeah, because right now we have an AC system in the front. I think it's also, is it a factory one or no? I don't know. I think it's just an aftermarket unit that we have in there, but it just can't keep up, especially in the back seat, because shocks are right here, which shocks generate a ton of heat. So that's one of the disadvantages of when the shocks are like in the cab like this. They generate a ton of heat. So like for this guy right here, he's literally just got heaters right there. And like we have our transmission right below us, headers and exhaust go right all in this tube. And this thing's all metal, so it just generates a shit ton of heat, basically. So I tasked him with mounting it somewhere in here. That was easy access.
Now have a strap going over it.
So he's got a strap going over it. We kind of played with some different locations.
Mounted right there. Thought about here, but Christopher wants the guy in the back to be able to have a scenic view, so we decided not to go there.
Yeah, the back's already so tight, and like these windows, like that's some of the only light you get in there when you're in there, especially everything's limo tinted in the back because we baller like that.
Wanted to mount it there, but then we found that make contact. For me, I just cut that off. That's me.
The truth comes out. You didn't mention that earlier, but no, actually I really like this. Like, I got my important things. I got my snacks, stickers, more snacks, face wipes, a tourniquet.
I think you got more trash in there than anything.
Dude, no, there's no trash in there. Look, tourniquet, you tell me that's trash.
No.
Something emergency happens.
I don't want you getting hurt.
Face mat, and then just a ton of snacks.
What kind of snacks you got in there?
Emergencies, keys, more snacks.
You got gummy bears in there?
But yeah, so we're mounting this. That's our final location, correct?
Yeah.
And then the blades, what's your blade?
So I'm gonna make a little pocket on the side that the blades will slip into, and I'll have a magnet in there to keep them from bouncing out.
Yeah, that's the one nice thing about this is the blades are way easier to change. You can kind of have different ones, so we'll have a couple wood ones, couple metal ones, so if we do have to cut something off the truck, where you can't do that with a chainsaw.
No chain maintenance, no oil.
Yeah, and like chainsaws, when you hit the dirt once, you're smoked. Like that chain's toast.
Done.
These you can kind of get in the dirt and stuff.
Even just like old nasty wood will dull them out real bad.
If we are cutting down like big trees, chainsaws will move. But for like this, branches, little trees.
You still have a chainsaw in the back, right?
Yeah, I'll still have chainsaw in the back. What else we got?
Transmission's back.
Yeah, we got the tranny back. Pretty standard.
Third member's back.
4L80.
Already in.
Third member's back, already in since I destroyed it once again. We got to figure that out because I keep smoking them. I think we're debating how we're gonna do these. We're talking about, so in the race truck we do like a really fancy wrap on the headers that costs a lot of money and takes a while, but we honestly don't think it's the right move for here. So we're talking about Cerakoting them, right?
Yes.
Or doing some type of coating to try to get them to disperse heat, and then from there back we're gonna wrap them, right? The exhaust, and we're gonna wrap them all. Gonna re-secure these, try to get them a little stronger so we don't have cracking, some stuff like that for our Borla. But yeah, all this we're gonna wrap just with header wrap, try to keep the heat from continuing to go in. So, but I think we're gonna send these out. These Switch Pros, if you've never seen them, kind of cool. Different thing. Oh, you already mounted in there?
Yeah.
Sweet.
The keypad.
So a little keypad.
Right there.
Boom, boom, boom. And then
it's mounted to the side in there. Already powered up. These are just extra wires.
And then yeah, we just gotta.
All the other shit you're gonna have me mount later. So this is your air conditioner control right here. And this is the gear shifter HEPA filter. This is gonna be your rear USB chargers.
It's gonna have a million different things. All right, we'll continue walking. We walked by the trophy truck earlier. Show you guys a little bit of this. This thing's been on hold a lot. We're finally doing a little bit of stuff. Right here we got a Peplink antenna. So this big hog is getting mounted on the roof. It'll get mounted up there. We haven't mounted it yet, but we run a Peplink system, so a lot of people ask, like, we have multiple Starlinks, we have multiple cellular systems, so Peplink takes all those and kind of puts it into one unit, or like one computer is what so it's taking Starlink 1, Starlink 2, and then we have 5G 1, 5G 2. This is the 5G antenna, so this does 2 big 5Gs. Before this, because we didn't have enough room with how we had it designed, we could only run this single 5G one, a lot smaller. So that would only have one 5G, and then it had like a little antenna on the actual unit itself. This is the Peplink system, so on the back there was a little antenna. But now we're switching to where it's gonna have 2 5G networks out of that, and then our 2 Starlinks, which we're repositioning Starlinks. We're keeping one up there, and then we're moving one back here just to give it a different angle. And we've also been getting notifications that our Starlinks are too close to each other, so like Starlink themselves don't like that. So we'll have one like facing that way and then one facing it this way, so when we're going different directions, hopefully it picks up different satellites. Because what it's doing is grabbing 1 Starlink, 2 Starlink, 1 5G, and then that Peplink system is just determining whatever service is the best. And then putting that to like our onboard cameras, our onboard computer, stuff like that. I'm excited about this. We've been finding that we're using a ton of 5G actually with these big antennas. So we think going to the bigger one, we're gonna even get more 5G because it's more powerful. So kind of exciting. But besides that, the trophy truck's kind of still been on a standstill. Jimmy did redo some stuff on our Borla exhaust. Got some new mufflers, same tips, and then just rerouted this a little for some efficiency things. But oh, here's the mount Jimmy's been building for that big antenna. And this is that coating I was talking about that we do. But we think that's gonna be too much for this. So, continue on. I don't know if this was in here last time. My all-wheel drive transit van. We built this for SEMA a couple years back. It had tracks on it, whole 9 yards. It's actually like one of the first ever all-wheel drive transit vans built. So we did a huge build on that. I kind of just spent some time, we just spent some time. We had to fix the door. The slider door was acting up, and then we kind of reassembled Oof, it's real dark in here. Let's see if the batteries are on. Oh, batteries are disconnected. But it's got a bed, whole 9 yards. So getting this ready. It is summer. Hopefully gonna enjoy it, some of it this summer. We've been working a lot on ranch things, so not as much of that. And then the boat, look how shiny she is. Just had this ceramic coated. It's like, yeah, real nice. Bronco, separate video coming out on that. Go-kart, separate video coming out on that. F100, separate video coming out on that. That corner, there's a lot going on at the moment, and I can't fully share. Who knows? One of them might have came out before this, but I'm excited. You guys are gonna like that stuff. Chase trucks, they're getting all dialed in. We're 6-7 weeks away from Baja 400, so kind of putting our heads back into Baja, getting ready, planning, but we still have a lot of other side projects. This is my father's RV. We're taking out all these older AGM batteries and putting in some very exciting Optimas, a lot of them, 10 of them to be exact, which will make for a lot of power. 150 amp hours each, so 1500 amp hours. So this guy will literally be able to like run his AC, his fridge, all that stuff for, I would think, over a night. We'll have to do some testing. I don't know. He's been doing a lot of calculations. Fully off batteries, which is pretty strict. So right now they are building some new air that they all bolt in here and in here. So we got to build new battery trays because those are a lot different size. But overall, the performance is going to be so much better because just a lithium, you can drain it way more, stays higher voltage compared to these other things. These things will start draining, acting weird finish, you know, like you see voltage changes and it starts to tweak out certain devices, where lithiums, they just stay high until they basically die. But then you just recharge them, not really die. And since we talked about in the last one, I figured I'd show you guys a little update on the gate. My boy Aaron, he's been busy, he's been traveling, but he did get all this welded up, so this is how my gate's gonna look, which I'm pretty excited about. This thing is like, I mean, heavy duty, but kind of looks, you know, when you're up close like this, it looks like a lot of metal, but when you get afar, it kind of looks like all these pieces are floating, and then it's kind of cool, so it'll like interlock, so like pieces will go here and here, which he started over there on that. All right, and then one more thing while we're here. Pre-runner wheels, I forgot to mention this earlier. Pulling them off, cleaning them up, and they're going to get powder coated. Got our methods looking good, but I'm excited to clean. I wanted to change the wheel colors on the whole pre-runner for a little now. I think it's going to give her some pizzazz. What color you guys think we should paint them? I already made my decision, but maybe if one of you guys comments something super cool, I'll change my mind. But that is kind of a wrap on shop update. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll talk soon. Please leave comments, concerns, questions, ideas on what we should do. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever else you guys do. Share this with all your friends so I can make tons of views and make millions of dollars. Just kidding. But